Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Today,
Hi.
Hi. Well, sorry. We were all both in a little bit of a rush right now.
I've been running around like crazy.
Yeah, that's life. That's life sometimes.
It truly is.
Mm-hmm. You're not rushing now and then to live stream on the last 10 minutes. You're doing. No.
I totally didn't just shove 3 tacos in my face like a mad woman.
Oh, that was the crunching noises, I see.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I approve of tacos. But yeah, this is gonna be episode 3. We're gonna be talking about character creation and all that lore and stuff. And today, Eyeris is gonna guide us more into that. I'm
in charge.
Yeah. Well, we're talking more about the process and all that about character creation, some tips and things around, and mostly, yeah, because there's character creation is not only, I would say, it's not only about making the character itself, like making the stats and all that. The lore, it's very much, I would say, more important than all that.
I would argue as well. Also, happy Father's Day to everybody. I think I'm a dad. I don't quite know. Can I be a dad to the birds?
I mean, you technically are that to the birds, yeah. I can say that you are. And also, you're a VTuber artist, so you technically are, you're a VTuber's dad because you have rigged other people's models, right?
Well, I've not rigged other people's models,
no? Oh, then.
I rigged my own.
Yeah, for father.
I'm my own mom and dad, if that helps.
Father before that, yeah. I mean, yeah, that counts. Then you're a dad, yeah, you're in dad.
Yeah, it counts. So today I am taking the helm. I'm in charge today, everybody. I'm in charge. And
don't burn anything.
How dare you? Today we're talking about character creation, which is, I'd argue, is probably one of the most important steps of doing anything in a TTRPG from like a player perspective and arguably a GM perspective as well. I feel like it kind of blends together a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think it blends. As a game master, characters, you know, they're called NPCs, but they're still characters. And it's way more interesting a character that has in a story than just the bad guy that they can beat up with and go along with the next day to beat on another bad guy.
Yeah, it's a process, I think. And I think the best way to start figuring out like what specifically you're gonna do for that character always starts with digging into the lore of what you're doing.
So what do you mean digging about the lore, Eyeris? So you mean more about the lore of the world? What's going around?
So basically, the way that at least I start, I know some people start differently. I always find that finding something in the lore of the world that your setting is in can be one of the most interesting things you're interested in. Something that you look at and you're like, oh my god, that's perfect. Like, I look at that and I'm like, oh my god, I want to know more about that. I feel like that is like one of the best starting points for making a character, right?
No, I totally agree with that. Definitely. I mean, the nice thing about going that way is that your character will always fit the campaign, and the campaign can go around with them. Like, you can make stories as a game master. Once you do that, it's easier for me to grab things that to make drama, to make things more interesting for you, because now I don't need to think about what to do with your character, because I already have tools around that I know that they are tied to your character that I can barely easily connect.
And I think that that's probably like my favorite way to start. So for instance, like when I'll use like one of my characters from, let's say Warhammer. I have a lot of Warhammer characters. I really like Warhammer. For me, one of my best starting points for Warhammer, I'll use my Inquisitor as an example, is I've always found Psychers to be really interesting. I think that, using that as an example to jump off, I found that Psychers as a type of class, sort of, that you can get in Warhammer had an interesting combat aspect to them as well as a lore aspect to them. And it's always great to have that, because then you can kind of pick between, what options for those. Because one of the things about making a cohesive character is figuring out what works best with what you're doing. So while you can find a really good character backstory, you can also find a character, let's say, like, mechanical style that works well with that backstory.
No, I can see that, especially with Psychers on the whole 40k. They are a big part of drama there. There's strong feelings about them. Some people hate them, some people admire them. So all it sends is very strong feelings. So that can create a lot of conflict. So I definitely like that approach, like on focusing on things that can create more things to do, because you don't want a perfect life. You don't want a perfect world. You want to be on a part where you are living on a gray area where things are not fully going to one direction to another. Because even if as a game master see it, I can say that I feel like I succeed as a game master when players can go on their own and start creating drama between other players. Like, that is the point where I feel like first two things. I can relax, sit back, and just laugh and enjoy the moment, which is very nice to have sometimes when you're busy or thinking too many things. And the other thing is that at that point, I can see how the players are into their characters, into what they're doing, and how they're actually having fun doing it. Because in the end, everything is about having fun.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. I think everybody's in it to have fun. I hope.
No, Eyeris, you don't get it. I'm there to win. I ain't gonna win a TTRPG. I'm gonna defeat Tiamat with a level 1 character or a Kroka with legendary feats and I don't know what feat.
the need to, like... So, here's the thing, right? I feel like the best way that I go about it from there, 'cause, like, I like a whole fucking process that I do. And, like, I always find it really funny that I have some friends who are a little bit more mechanically minded, where I'm a lot more, let's just say I'm a little bit more RP minded.
Yeah.
And, I find, hi, buddy.
Hello.
I find that frequently, like, one of the best ways to kind of get around that, 'cause I'm not very mechanically minded. I don't think I'm ever really going to be mechanically minded. Not my strong suit. But, like, I feel like one of the best ways to kind of get around that is to find, when you find that kind of niche for, like, your character's lore and all that jazz, like the section of the setting that you're very interested in, you can kind of grab that and latch onto that, and you can see, like, the good and bad aspects of it. Once you dig your, like, teeth into it, you can kind of see, well, this works like this works like that, how would this affect this? And then you can kind of start really going from there, I think.
I mean, honestly, it's... Yeah. I have to agree on that sense. I do gotta say, some people get inspired more from the mechanical sense first and then start to create their character. And I do think it's a valid way to go things, especially with some systems that help you a lot with the story. Because, for example, I can put you the example of Cyberpunk that helps with that area, because not everyone's really good at thinking about the drama or what's going on, or not always you can get that inspiration of, oh, I want to do that, I want to be that, I want to integrate into that part of the story. So what some systems do, like for example Cyberpunk, it creates relationships that you have on the story. It creates stuff that happens to you, like bad stuff that happens to you. So for example, I like to give the relationship example because he said like, oh, you had a lover, you are divorced, and start giving you stuff.
Oh yeah, like almost like a. I actually haven't touched Cyberpunk. Yeah, I probably actually need to, but like rolling for your backstory and stuff like that.
Yeah, rolling.
Which, I mean, it's something that exists in D&D itself too. On top of like
yeah,
all
it,
that.
it exists in D&D, but I do gotta complain about how it exists on D&D because
That's fair.
Because it is too plain. It's too direct. It I don't all the newbies that I have seen play it, like with the backstories and all that. The personalities, they never integrated. They always alter it because a personality is more complex than that. So what does help on that is that it gives you a little bit of what actually happened on your life. And the best system I have seen into that helping you like rolling your story, system called Traveler. On that system, you basically play a little bit to make your character. So you try to go to school, you can fail the test. It's just some rolling. It's not really role playing, but you get then the list. Okay, you try to get to the Imperial like super high academy school, but you failed your role and you couldn't get there. So what do you want to do now? Okay, I tried to get to the my second option was school. Okay, you failed. Okay, I tried to go to military school. Well, you failed military school too. Well, I'm just gonna be a vagabond now. And just,
I've given up.
And just start rolling for a bunch of things like that. But at the end, and there is even an online builder for it, you get this list of, oh, you did all this. Like, this actually happened to your character, and you spend all this much time doing all that stuff. And that all creates stories for things to happen, because one of the rules I have around for making complicated characters or learn characters, I have a rule that X amount of years, depending on how complicated I want to make it, usually when it's super complicated, like every 5 years, except if there's something like an elf, something happened to their life. Something had to happen. They were a child, maybe they found a hobo and helped the hobo, and they gave him some magical beans. I don't know.
It's all about creating hooks not only for you as a player, but for the DM to use, really.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to just sit there and be like, well, I'm a farmer. I have nothing going on. I mean, you might want to be a farmer. Like, you never know. But, like, you don't want to be that person, that dude who's like, I ain't got nothing going on. Nothing's happening. I've never in my life had conflict. My life is perfect. And I am here to stab goblins. Like, why,
goblins?
Though? Stab goblins specifically.
Oh, I have had that character before.
Specifically
goblins?
Yeah,
specifically goblins. I had a Goblin Slayer player before. Yeah, I had it. He played like just 2 days, two times with me, and then he left because I was like, oh, I'm glad he left.
We had like, but like for me, I've always been like, I've been minded to like try and figure out from there, like, what's an interesting hook that the DM can use based off what I've picked. Like, I know in my Deadlands campaign, I have a lot of connections back to like different places. I try and pick like places in the lore too, like specific locations. You know, so that way it's like, we're going to such and such city. It's like, oh, wait, I've been there before. They don't like me.
They're haunting me there.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit in my Deadlands campaign, but you know.
Okay. Yeah. No, but yeah, I gotta say, with all that about the parts of the story, it's like, the interesting about knowing places is that is when you can integrate a lot of story, even if you don't have very specific. Is how you can integrate story onto the game master. Oh, you have been here before. I can now give you some information of this place, or I can even make some drama about a character that you don't really know. You never wrote in your backstory, but you live here. You should have some friends before, right?
Yeah. that, and then like, you know, I find even just like, I feel like too, I'm one of those people deep into my character creation where I'll make like family trees and family histories because I'm that deep. But when I was first starting, I literally just went, what is the character's goal? And I played in like that first like one shot that I did forever ago with my first D&D character. It was like, what is my character's goal in this short little one shot? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's to do X. What kind of person would want to do X? And I was like, probably someone who's not very well adjusted, maybe is a little bit on the grumpy side. And I kind of went from there. But like, I can see for the like more mechanically minded, I feel like that's why systems that have those built-in sort of fallbacks for character creation can be really good, especially the ones that do like flaws and hindrances on top of like your actual like perks and abilities, where in order to gain perks you have to take flaws, and those flaws affect your gameplay. I do think those are pretty interesting. Conceptual basis and mechanical basis.
Yeah, no.
I feel like it gives you a lot to work off too. That's just built in.
It's very nice. Like, people complain a lot about paladins and characters that are like very strict on what they do and stuff like that. But then you can put them on such a good moral dilemmas. And fine, honestly, completely fair of your brother. If he thinks that there's a reason, you have given him a reason for that. That's my experience. Don't always blame the player. Sometimes it is the fault of the game master.
Sometimes. I know it's hard to say. I know it's hard to admit. It's hard to admit our faults. It's really hard for me to admit my faults as a player. You know, every once in a while I get a little crazy and I sidetrack everything. But you know, it's not my fault. The GM needs to take better care to make sure I am involved in an appropriate way. I know he's in chat. I know you're here. This is a challenge.
This is a challenge. So it's never Eyeris' fault. That's what I'm getting here.
It's never my fault.
But it's hard to admit fault, right? It's hard to admit fault.
I'm never the problem. Never the problem. I am simply built different. I have no red flags. I am all green flags.
But yeah, if you have a player that don't want to tell you about their backstory, honestly, that's really not good. You're missing communication with the player. If they don't want to go with that, it's like, well, you don't really have backstory until you tell me, because I'm literally one presenting the story. Like, you can present your backstory, you can present your stuff. But yeah, that's mostly I do think it's part of the fault of the game master for not making that communication open about it. Which can be a bit difficult. It's not always the full responsibility of the game master, to be honest. But
I know that sometimes when it comes to stuff like that sometimes people can get kind of like, I've seen where people have been like, oh, I can't tell the GM what's going on because I'm worried they're gonna like, you know, use it against me and I'm gonna lose. And I'm like, playing a role-playing game. They are God. They're gonna know. You need to tell them. You know, I'm sorry, you're not gonna lose at social interaction, I promise.
It's very funny for me when players go like, you know what? Okay, I wanna do this. And I go like, okay, yeah, you grab the note. Okay, now I'm gonna burn it. Okay, it's burned. And I wait. Okay, well, you're waiting. The other NPC tells you, what are you waiting for? What's wrong? Oh, I just and he goes at me, oh, I just wanted to really piss him off. No, he's just confused. You could have asked me that. Why are you tell me what you want to happen, and I can help you go to the interaction about, oh, I can imagine it being it more like you showing the piece of paper to him and like doing it in front of him to piss him off. And instead I'm imagining this situation where you're just randomly burning a paper off, and it's like, okay, I don't know what's happening. You're not telling me.
Yeah, it's communication on all fronts. It's the most important part of being in a tabletop, is to have that communication. That open source for streaming D&D with your chat. Another streamer. What do you think about it? Oh, I had not seen that. That's something that exists?
I have seen something similar. It is not really D&D to what I remember, but I'm open about it. The idea, it's an idea I like that, like to be able to role play with chat and chat to make decisions in that sense. But it's very difficult to manage. As
I feel like with the bigger chat size too, it can get kind of a little bit crazy. We're going off regular logic. I don't know how it functions. I'd be curious to look it up and see.
Yeah,
but I'd imagine it'd probably get really hectic.
Yeah, my issue with it is mostly the delays it can have. And the other issue is that if you have a very active chat, it can be chaotic. If you have very slow chat, you're having a lot of wait time and people might lose interest, and then you're waiting a response to see what happens, and you cannot progress.
Yeah.
So it's something that not always can be pulled off, in my opinion.
You need a chat that's just right.
Yeah. I hope that she lets me in her backstory when we finally get back to D&D again. It'd be a shame if I never get to make interesting story for more than letting her have a taking con artist rat as a companion.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, here's my 2 cents as a forever player. If your player is not willing to share that information with you, I feel like you need to have a conversation with them and be like, hey, I do need to know this about your character to make things work, because I do need that. If you don't tell me what it is, I can't do anything. And it's gonna be a problem moving forward because I want to include you in things, but if I don't have that information, I can't include you.
Yeah, and in the end, if they feel very uncomfortable about something, or worried that you're gonna do something, like if they have a pet on D&D and they're worried that they're gonna harm the pet, and it's just normal. It's very common for players not to want their pet to be harmed and stuff like that. I give my players this rule for pets. I will never harm your pet as long as you don't put it into combat. The moment you put it into combat,
that we use too.
The moment you put it into combat, you put it there. You decided that. So you can put the same situation with your family. It's like, oh, they're gonna be fine. I promise you that. You can agree with that. You can make an agreement and stuff like that.
I feel like this kind of goes back to our discussion about session zeros, where like having a session 0 and stuff like that, I don't know if you did or not, can always help remedy stuff like this, where you set up that expectation ahead of even if you already know the people. It's just good practice. And honestly, even then, just setting up like the expectation of like, hey, I need to know all this information ahead of time, please get it to me in a timely manner. And then like also, hey, if you have any special requests, let me know. And maybe one of the special requests could be something like, I want to make sure such and such character in my character story doesn't get hurt. And then you can just be like, okay, as long as we follow this, this, and this, we can make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because if you can also, you have to put the rules too, because you can players can be too random sometimes, and they can like, okay, nothing's gonna happen to your brother. Okay, I'm putting my brother as a shield now. What? Yeah, nothing's gonna happen to him, right? Now it's a shield. I'm invincible now. What the fuck?
Plot armor.
Plot armor.
Literally.
I'm wearing my plot armor with me. And you never know. People might actually try to do that as a joke, and then it becomes serious. You never know what can happen. That is the situation with everything. And yeah. But yeah, going a little bit back into character creation and all that, Eyeris. I had a question for you.
Kick it.
What is the weirdest character you have made?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I made a sentient robot once. Oh god, I don't even still have art of her. We were playing, I don't know if anybody here is familiar with the Powered by the Apocalypse system masks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know.
You don't know about masks? Okay, so I was playing this little bitty AI robot. I forget what her name was, but I made her forever ago, and she was very Astro Boy inspired a little bit. It was very weird. This is one of the few times where I had a GM that I wasn't usually having as a GM. She was probably one of the weirdest ones. She required a lot of doing stupid things for stupid answers because she was an AI. And not even like an AI that's like an AI that's like already got knowledge. This was a fresh AI.
Oh, just barely learning stuff. Like,
Yeah, just now learning. Like, just like got the basics of like speech down, but doesn't know a thing about anything else. Would picked up a like monstrosity creature that had like teeth and like razor razor sharp claws, teeth. Like when I say teeth, I mean it's like a mouth full of teeth.
yeah, these
It's
sharp
like
fangs.
its entire head was teeth. And she picked it up, looked at everybody else in the group, no fear in her eyes as she did, and just went, "Is this a cat?" And it was probably one of my favorite moments. She drug it out of an air conditioning vent like it was nothing. It was just trying desperately to figure out what it was. But nobody had an answer because we didn't know what the fuck it was.
Well, it's not a cat. Then what is it? Look, it has sharp stuff. That is a cat.
It's sharp, it has some fluffy bits, and it has claws. That's a cat. That is not a cat. One of my current games that I have right now, it's not really a weird character, but it is certainly a character that's a little bit different, is I'm playing a completely emotionless character. Which is very interesting. I'm in a game that's basically pretty magical girl inspired, and I love magical girls. But I had this whole thing where I was just like, what would happen if you had a magical girl that just doesn't have any emotions? And surprisingly, makes for a really neat character.
Neat or mean? What did you say? Neat. Huh. How so? It's hard for you to imagine, to be honest.
It's weird taking things, because I have to take things in that game as logically as physically possible. I can't process anything with a tinge of emotion. So every action that I make in that game, I usually make based off of solely just the logic behind it. Like, if I do X, I'll get to Y, but X and Y might result in complications down the road, but I need to get there, so even if it causes problems, I still need to do it.
Yeah, no, I can see it, and I can see your players also being pissed off when you do.
Nah, they seem fine with it. They did call her a robot last session, which was very
Aww, that's sad. Good drama, but it's sad drama.
She wasn't upset. She doesn't care.
I care.
You can care all you want, but she doesn't.
Yeah. No, but
that's
yeah.
like the fun part.
No, but I can see it because magical girls are a lot about emotions and their powers with it. They are literally the power of friendship most of the time.
A lot of the time, yeah. It's a lot of power of friendship.
Sometimes it's cosmic powers that are actually at work.
Sometimes you get a little Madoka Magica in there, and you gotta figure that out.
I mean, Madoka Magica still has a lot of power of friendship.
It's still a lot of
toxic
cosmic
friendship,
power.
but
I mean, it is toxic. A lot of it comes down to when I'm making a character, I just try and think about weird ways that I can play a character that I haven't played before. I think that's my favorite part as somebody who's played so much, is just trying to figure out how to do something that I haven't done before.
So you always want to do the trying to do something different or something that you're
Mm-hmm.
not really doing constantly. Okay, I can see
Yes.
that. That keeping the little brain buzzing with new stuff. That's nice.
I try and keep the old noggin churning with new ideas, but you know, it is what it is. Even if I do something slightly similar, I try and at least keep them a little bit
Okay.
separate.
So I gotta ask, how do you came up with the idea of your magical girl that really is emotionless?
It really was down to like what, because the concept of it is everybody in that game has lost something important to them uh in their personality. So like one
Hmm.
person's lost their morality, one person's lost their drive. I decided to go with the most extreme route I could physically think of, which is just what if somebody lost all emotion?
Damn. I mean, savage a little bit, but nice. Honestly, it's a
Hey, I
really good
mean,
take. And
you just
uh,
got to do it.
I gotta say, I love it because you create this economy of the regular magical girl, and you're kind of the
Yeah.
outlier on that sense, but it is creating that duplicity of different views, which is always nice to
Mm-hmm.
see. Um, and with the duplicity and all that, I do gotta say, I have a very strong take on
Mm-hmm.
loner characters, especially
Mm-hmm.
for people that are just getting into the hobby. Don't make a fucking loner.
Cut your teeth on something friendly first.
Don't. You can. They can work. I have worked with some loners that work amazingly.
Oh, I do them all the time when I have the chance. I try to. I think one of the best parts about having a loner character is them slowly realizing they don't need to be alone.
Yeah, but that is the
Uh,
thing. They get better. They have something to improve. They have they see you as a player see their loneliness or stuff like that they do as a fault, and then they can have their character growth or not have their character grow. They can even get worse, but you work with it.
yeah,
And
it's all about character growth.
instructions are clear. Marine edgy loner murder hobo with a soft spot for cats. That's a soft spot for cats. It's already better than 90% of all those other loners.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many like? Oh, I'm so edgy. I'm fucking.
I'm the Goblin Slayer. You don't need to know my
I'm
story.
the
I'm not gonna
Goblin
tell you.
Slayer.
I'm not gonna tell you anything about me. The only thing you
You
need to
don't get
know
to
is I
know.
hate goblins and I need to kill
You
them.
don't get to know. You don't get to know my tragic fucking backstory. And they always have a tragic fucking backstory. Sometimes people can just be antisocial.
Yeah,
Sometimes you can just not like being around people.
yeah. And then a year passes by and it's like, nobody has asked me about my backstory.
Every time we sit down at the campfire, you go, no, I won't tell you. It's too much. It's too much.
I'm gonna go hide in the bushes and sneaking off a knife, preparing in case anyone invades you. Don't you want a dinner? I'm gonna hunt in the woods alone.
I'm so alone. Like, buddy.
And the funniest thing is when those situations happens, more of my experience is that all TTRPGs, well, at least 90% of them, I think, are a team-based game.
Mm-hmm.
So you always will meet challenges that you alone cannot make them. And I have had this experience multiple times where I put challenges where a team barely survives, and I have that loner character that wants to go, you know what, I want to do this challenge alone. Like, buddy, it's very dangerous. That's when I go like, you sure you want to do that? You are very unlikely to survive that. Like, I go directly with the god with that, but it's like I tell them, do it. You're gonna have fun. And then they go and it's like, one turn, two turn, game completely destroyed. Like, yeah, sorry, I cannot tone down you trying to invade a fortress by your own going to the front gate. I cannot tone down that.
I think like the big thing that I hear a lot when I hear people ask about character creation Weirdly enough, this is probably something that a lot of people have asked me specifically. Is character design? I cannot explain how character design works.
You're an
Get on pick crew.
Damn it, Iris. I have no visual imagination. I cannot help with that.
I've always found that, like, usually in the groups that I tend to be in, one of the things that happens pretty frequently is people create their character and they're like, I need something similar. And then they're like, I know a character from an anime. And they'll use that. And you want to know something? You want to know a quick secret chat? You want to know something? That's totally fine, and you can totally do it. Nobody's gonna be mad at you for using an anime character from an anime you like as your character's image. That's the facts.
Did I hear something? I think I didn't. I heard something. I'm joking.
Let me get in here. It's the facts. Nobody's going to be mad at you.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna laugh with you if you do that. The moment I realize or you tell me, I'm gonna have such a big laugh, unless it's a character I hate.
You wanna know,
the only exception for me.
I had I since I ingest so much anime media, I one time, and this isn't really anime, but one point in time we had a game where we had picked all our character images. I drew mine, I put it in, etc., etc. And are you familiar, Atoshi? Are you familiar with the game Dramatical Murder?
No, honestly, I'm not.
Wonderful. Hi, if anybody in chat knows this game, please seek help. There's I affectionately call him Yowie Jesus because he is Yowie Jesus, but the main character of that game's name's Alba. And I was chilling and somebody was like, I finally found a character image I like, and it was just fucking Alba. And I was like, oh buddy, and I like kept it to myself. I was like, I don't want to tell him that I've seen this boy's cheeks clapped. And then like we got to the end of the of this like little bit of this little sessions we had, and I was like, hey, so I just wanted to tell you characters from a really really interesting visual novel series that they're like, what kind? What one? I'm like, Dramatical Murder, and they're like, hold on, I'm gonna look it up. So he was like, oh my god, Iris, why didn't you tell me sooner? I was like, I thought it was funny.
Love it. Fucking love it. Why are we talking about getting cheek slapped while I play Subnautica? Am I supposed to take a note on what to do as a player or as a DM? Both.
I mean, both.
It's very important to know as a game master what players want. And that player wants their clap to ring cheek. He was just lying.
Sometimes you gotta go clap cheeks. That's just the simple facts of the matter. You gotta clap cheeks.
Yeah. Simple.
It is. As a tabletop player, as a GM, you need to be prepared to clap them cheeks.
Yeah. Honestly, you do need to be open-minded about a lot of stuff. A game master. It starts from character creation when you don't want to gatekeep them, but you don't want to be people to make sense with the story, So, but you want to have an open mind of how things happen instead of being that game master that goes like, nope, you cannot have that. Like, okay, maybe this can work this way. You know what? We don't have that. But we have this, which is very similar. We can alter a little bit to make it basically the same thing. And players are gonna go, no, I want exactly this. Okay, well, find a table. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
You're okay.
But
yeah. It's fine to like not have a like direct design in mind when you're doing stuff. I feel like.
Yeah. And design itself can come along as you go. Like, one of the ways I go with design of characters, I started Google searching images for characters that I feel like I have some inspiration of. So, for example, one of my most recent player characters that I made, which is recent, I'm saying a few months ago, more than a few months now that I think about it. It is Javira Tenfoot. She is a halfling a halfling fighter with the subclass for basically Giant Smite. I don't remember the name exactly. But the whole idea, I started with that. I want a little guy that turns big, and I ended up making this story progressing of, oh, maybe she grew with her family and we cannot fight her because she had a very rowdy family. Oh, you know what? Why was her family rowdy? Maybe she was adopted and all the other like kids were bigger because she's a halfling. And that's why she learned to fight, because she didn't want to be a pushover and stuff like that. And eventually she started to searching how to become bigger because she really got annoyed by it. Stuff like that. And you can progress from small things. Okay. We got to the weirdest character, Eyeris. But now another question for you.
Alright.
What is the character you're the most proud of?
I'm so glad you asked. I have a million pictures of her. Holy shit, my Deadlands character. Her name is Archie. She's a mad scientist. I love her dearly and deeply. I have been playing this character for nearly 4 years now. Holy shit.
Damn, that's a long time.
I draw her frequently and often. She is probably like my favorite character to just sketch and draw. She's so much fun. She's got such a weird personality. She's very she's not over the top, but she's very like laissez-faire about everything. She's almost died like twice.
Almost.
Surprisingly, we've only had one character death in Deadlands.
Huh?
In the amount of time that we've been playing for
How are you gonna
years.
fill the land with? Well, you fill the land with other NPC. That's right. That's how it works.
She has beef with a couple of factions. It's pretty interesting.
Sounds like all the factions except one.
She can reanimate the dead, which is very fun. I don't use that power as much as I should. She's got special eyes. I could go on and on. She recently, there's been an NPC romance with her where it's very enemies to lovers, which is my favorite part. They finally got together. It's been 4 years.
I sorry for interrupting a little bit. Have you been looking forward to that part like all along, or was it a surprise kind of situation that happened?
It was something we started to begin with. We had it planned for later down the road. We didn't think it would take that long to get here, but we finally got here, and I'm just simply happy about it.
Nice. That's great. And want to tell a story about her? Like, what do you feel like? One of the things that when you made her, you feel like were really a big payoff.
But if I can't, because I don't want my players finding out, my like co-players finding out secrets.
Damn, it's a loner character. I knew it all along.
No, but like I think one of the big things that really paid off was she was born in Dodge City, which I don't know if you probably don't know what Dodge City is. Dodge City was probably one of the most dangerous places to live in the West at the time. It was awful dangerous. You know that phrase, you've probably heard it every now and again, get the hell out of Dodge?
Oh, yeah.
It comes from Dodge City.
That makes sense.
And we had an entire arc where we went back to Dodge City for a little bit. And it was a situation where, one, I got to tell people a little bit about our backstory, which was very interesting. But two, it led to probably one of the most engaging fights I think we had in that. We have a lot of fights that I really, really enjoy from that campaign, but definitely that one was great. We were in an underground sort of cavern made of flesh, fighting a blood cult. It's so hard to describe it, but I'll have to send you my note. I'll have to send you our notes stock sometime, Toshi, so you can take a look at it because it's
Okay,
wild.
I would love to see that, to be honest. It does sound wild.
I always love to share my note stocks with people. I'm not the one writing the notes for this game in particular, but
yeah, you said there's a really good note writer there.
Yeah, she's really great. But yeah.
No, that's great. Okay. So with characters. So you do have like recycled characters, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So
sometimes
when you go recycling them, do you try to redo them to redo the story, or do you try to make the story as similar as possible as the original?
I try and keep it similar, but at the same time, like, I think the way that helps me keep it similar so I don't accidentally, like, lose the plot of what I'm doing is I'll look for a story and plot line that's similar to what I was doing before, so I can work it in then.
Okay, I see. So, for example, if there was a death cult in one campaign, you try to get a death cult there, and figure to get out. Or if there was a city that was destroyed, and that's very important for the story, you try to figure out they being on that city and stuff like that.
Yeah, I try and, like, if I'm reusing stuff, I try and find similar story beats that I can properly, like, relate back to that character.
Yeah, I can see that. And with characters that's been recycled, honestly, for me, when I recycle characters, it's because I felt like I didn't get enough use of them. But that's me thinking as a player. As a game master, well, you always are trying to recycle because that makes more interesting for the players. A new guy can be interesting, but it's always more interesting to see the previous guy, which I'm gonna go back to a point of character creation that we talk on session 0. Make fucking connections with people.
Make connections. It'll be so good. You'll love it.
Yeah, and again, you can be enemies, you can be exes, you can be brothers, you can be the guy that takes care of them, like the foster father, or the real father that was all the time hiding that was the real father and all the time pretends just to be the random dude that just was really nice to them for no reason, but really was the father all this time. Yeah, I'm going complicated with it, but you can see there's a lot of opportunities. A lot of things that you don't have to be like, oh, we're super friends, we're always gonna be together. That's you can have that, that's fine. But yeah, again, knowing people, knowing your players, or not, you don't need to even know all your players. You can even make that string where, oh, I know this person because this person knows this person knows this, and blah 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 blah. And
make connections.
Make connection.
That's all you need.
So I gotta ask, Iris, how do you usually go with making connections with other players, or you do usually not go with that?
I try and make connections where I can. Sometimes the setting just doesn't allow for it. But one of the things that I just like to do is if I see like somebody I'm really interested in making a connection with, I think the first thing I do is I just DM them after we've done like some basic concepting for our characters, especially if we're doing like more than one session 0 or anything like that, or if we're just plotting some stuff ahead of time. I always like to just DM people and be like, hey, I think that our characters would be neat if they knew each other.
That's good. That's honestly great. I have seen too many times people being too shy or too awkward about going in. That honestly don't go with experience. It goes with mentality of how you go with it.
Everybody is there to have fun, so don't be worried about it. Just go do it.
Yeah, and worst case, they're gonna say no, or oh, I actually had a different thing in mind that doesn't make sense with what you said. Maybe they're not going seeing that, but they're thinking that sometimes.
But then they might give you an option that's even better than what you had.
Yeah, maybe they'll even go like, you know what? Oh, that was so nice, but you know, I have in the backstory that a evil wizard killed his father. What if your father was that evil wizard that killed the father? You know?
Connection.
Yeah. Well, for jokes on you, I'm always worried. Well, jokes on me then.
Damn, if you like that.
Do it even if you're worried. You're gonna have fun. Just think more of the fun than when you're worried. You have to overlap the worries with desire, basically. That's my opinion of it. Alright. Okay, so we talked a little bit about character creation. So let's go along and talking a little about character creation on different teams. What about ours? How do you feel like team wise in general can help you in that?
I mean, like on a team basis? Like, you mean like how to gel with like the rest of the party?
No. Team like I'm sorry, my my accent is getting in the way.
You're good.
Like thematic wise.
Oh,
Like the settings teams, you know.
I think a good thing to do is to just kind of read the room about what's on. Like, obviously, depending on the setting that you're in, it's gonna change the theme of what you're playing. If you're playing a horror setting, you kind of have to have a little bit of horror in there somewhere, you know? If you're playing a, you know, setting that's pretty upbeat, you probably want to play something that's pretty upbeat. It just kind of rolls along with what you specifically are playing. I think it just really depends on the setting for the most part.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put an easy example. I'm not gonna give a lot about story or the world, whatever. Let's say you're playing a Pirates campaign, which you can actually have some example from. I think you have a One Piece campaign.
I do.
Yeah, so you can easily take sample from that. But yeah, what would you go more along with it to make a character for a pirate campaign?
I'm probably looking for something that's a bit more free-spirited. Since pirates are pretty free-spirited, I'd argue in most campaigns you're pirates not just because like you want to go steal stuff. You're usually pirates so that, you know, you can do things, but also you're free on the heists. That's one of the big things, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. One other question. How much do you work on creating the character after the campaign starts and you basically already made the character?
I mean, I feel like it's always a process, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like characters grow and change so much that, you know, over time, you can, like, change the character and expand on that character pretty, like, significantly. So I think I'm always still working on that character.
So that gave me a segue. When you feel like you're always working on the character, what is like, how have you felt like when it's the most like in known story-wise character, like the one that has the least amount of pre-creation before you start a campaign?
That's actually a pretty good question. I'm actually not too sure on that one.
Yeah, sorry, good question.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to use my brain.
It's alright. It's a little bit overwork, literally.
I don't know. I really don't know what I'd say for that. Really. I don't have many characters that I go in without having most everything plotted out in my head, at least a like ahead of time. It's a little, I don't know.
So you in general feel like it's not a situation that you're usually on, like where you have like the
Usually
whole
not.
character figure out and all that.
Yeah, I usually try and have everything figured out ahead of time. Sometimes I'll work little things in here and there, but like most of the time I'm usually already figured out what I've got going.
Yeah, that gives me to a point I wanted to be said. You don't have to have the full character figured out. You can make it after the campaign starts.
Oh yeah. Don't be like me. Don't sit there and agonize over it like a weirdo. If you have like a general concept, you can totally make it work without having to do anything else.
Yeah, don't try to make it perfect. I have those situation where players don't know what to play and they're like, oh, I need to finish my fire character, but I don't know if I want this or this or this or that or all that. It's like, okay. And Pine can corroborate with me because I'm one of those people that will go like, I'm gonna spend 3 hours if I need with you to help you go through your character. Just because you don't that break of really trying to figure out everything about the character can really set the stories to take too much time to even start. When you might not like the character, you're right, you might not like the character, but you know the solution for that. You make another character. Am I wrong?
I mean, no, it's not entirely wrong.
Okay, not entirely. I want to hear the disagreement part then.
I mean, I feel like there's always a way to make any character. So I feel like even then, like, you can always make a new character, but like, even if you're struggling with like a character, you're struggling to figure things out. A good thing to do is to just reach out to some of the other players or to your GM even. Usually, make it work. You can make it work. You definitely can.
No, I'm not complaining specifically about you, Pun. It's I can tell you it's completely normal. I don't see anything bad about it. Taking 3 hours to make a character is short for some people. I gotta say that.
Yeah.
I have taken weeks to make a character.
Oh, I take forever.
So it's not a long time. It really is not. But if your game master tells you you're not gonna need a second character, you don't need a second character.
Yep. Now, if shit goes sideways, you might need a second character, but usually you won't need a second character.
Yeah.
If the dice are your friend, you shouldn't need a second character.
Yeah, and I never go with that expectations. And okay. Let's go a little bit more into what comes out a little bit after creating a character. How do you usually like to segue your character into a story?
I mean, usually it's just finding the right spot. I try, and when I am kind of in charge of what I'm doing for like my character's intro, usually the big thing that I do is try and find a spot that I can work them into whatever's going on, and then also like get them involved with the other characters as quick as possible, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just gotta kind of push them into that slot.
But you do push them into that spot then?
Yes. Just a bit. Just a tiny bit. You
Just
gotta get it kickstarted somehow.
Just a bit. Spartan kicks them into into
it. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta make them interact. That's fun.
Okay. How much do you feel like you tend to metagame, like in the sense of, oh, I know my character wouldn't do this, but
oh no, I try not to at all.
Not to at all. Like it's 100% the most.
I try not to. If I have like, I'm gonna be real. I know secrets about some of the campaigns that I'm in, and I have full intentions of making the worst decisions. Not because, like, it's the meta thing to do, but because it just wouldn't make sense for the characters that I have to not make those bad decisions. I am 100% stay in character as much as physically possible when I am playing.
That's interesting.
I know. It's that role player in me.
No, honestly, it's not a bad thing. It is depends on the table you're on and the campaign. If it's a one shot, I expect players to go along more with it. Not to make chaos. To make chaos is fun. It's fine and fun. But more in the sense of that we're playing a one shot about killing spiders, and you're I'm making an arachnophobic character. Okay, well, now everyone enters. Oh, I'm not entering the cave. Well, this is the whole one shot is about, is entering the cave. Well, I'm an arachnophobic, but I told you we were gonna make it a campaign about entering a cave. Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to my character. You shouldn't have brought that character there.
I try and stay as in character as possible. Doing metagame stuff is not on my list.
No, I kind of completely right. I'm only saying that is an expectation I, as a game master, do have on some one shots, especially because I go along with sessions here trying to clear things up, like, oh, this is gonna be in spider kind of campaign, and they're like, oh, okay, make a character that goes along with that, because it's a one shot. We don't have forever to go on a tangent. If it's a session, I have gone to tangents that are so big. I don't mind at this point at all. The whole campaign is a tangent at this point. That's it's sometimes difficult for me to avoid. It looks long time for me to get used to not wanting to know every bit of info to get rid of temptations of fudging roles as a player after being at the end for so long.
Right.
Fudging as a player.
I will say, fudging as a player is a little worse than fudging as a DM.
Yeah, it's a little worse. It's not the worst depending on the situation. I would say fudging as a player, if it doesn't make sense, it's fine in my mind. But I don't ask for roles that don't make sense. Like, oh, you're a priest of the god of knowledge, okay? And you have a quiz. Oh, what is the last name of the god of knowledge? And you failed the roll with a nat 1. You needed a 2 maybe for the roll. It's like, it's a nat 1, but it doesn't fucking make sense. Why would I ask for that roll even?
For that, I think there's like workarounds for it. But I feel like when you say fudging a roll, it makes it sound like,
yeah,
especially if you're doing it in the like sense of like a player, it sounds an awful lot like hiding the dice behind your back and going, no, I rolled a 15. Definitely not a 5. see, I'm not moving my thumb.
Yeah, and
that's definitely a 15.
Yeah. I wish. I gotta say, just let the story go along. Let your game master fix it if it goes too hard on one side. That's the whole point, to know a little bit about the chaos. But I understand why it can be difficult. As a game master, sometimes I do fudge my rolls. I think it's fine because sometimes I roll not to really to roll. I roll to decide what's better or not. So it's like when you show like, oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and you shoot something like, I actually don't want that. You just pick the other team because that makes you realize that you don't want that part. You want the other team more.
Right.
And that is a very common situation. That, oh, but you rolled this. Yeah, but it's just end up like that. I'm not gonna fuck you over it. Just part of the story. Question though, how do you manage someone that makes a character with a difficult trait claiming that they don't want to be a pain, but the character is a pain? Eyeris, I'm gonna leave this question to you as a player first, even if it's more of a game master question.
It is a very GM question. I'd say that it'd probably be best to talk about like
I wanted to make some time to think about it.
If I was the GM, I'd probably, I don't know if I'd have the patience for it, but if I was the GM, I think my first move would be to set that player aside and be like, hey, I'm having a really hard time working around that character. Is there any way we can make this trait a little less intense so I can do something? Because it's really hard to work around that.
I can tell you this. This has ended campaigns for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because some people have gone too bad into that. I'm gonna give some examples soon about it. But my opinion because of it is how to go along with it, how people should go along about it is, first of all, it depends on the situation. Like I say, oh, in this campaign, you should not make evil characters, and they go along and make an evil character. And like, okay, I told people that you shouldn't make evil characters. And you told me it will be fine because you will be doing this, but you are not doing this. So I need you to change the attitude or change the character because we agree on this, and you're not doing your part. And that's my part of me being more strict. If it's something that, oh, we're in character creation and I read the sheet and I ask questions and I see it's problematic, and I ask and oh, but it's kind of, oh no, don't worry, and thing actually happen. I would, after a session where that happens, I will ask other players first how they feel about it. Because maybe it's just a me problem. I gotta be honest, sometimes it's only a game master that realizes that that is an issue. And other players are not fine with it. And if I'm the only one, I may, if it's not something big, I just may suck it. Other I just will tolerate it or tell someone, hey, can you tone it down a little bit? It's annoying me a little bit. And I will make it about me, not about the campaign. If other players agree that that's something like very annoying, like, oh, they feel frustrated about it, or oh, they want actually to tell me but they didn't want to be this niche or whatever, I will pull the player to the side in private and say, hey, this is happening, what do we do do this, and I'll put them more in the position of, you tell me what we should do to fix this, and if they don't try to put their effort into fixing it, I gotta be honest, they're not really gonna listen most of the time to what you want to say. I still will try to say, okay, let's try to do this. What do you think about it? If they agree, it's okay, we're good. And if they don't agree, it's like, we really need this. You have to put your foot down at some point. But about stories, I have told this story about the person that ran Mutants and Masterminds for me. Mutants and Masterminds, if you know the system, there are two types of players. The players that don't really know the system and make a character that works, or make a character that is completely outside of the bounds of what everyone can do and can do everything better than anyone. It is possible if you use the points right, because it has some functionalities are very exploitable. So this person told me the idea of a character that was like really new with their powers. They have all these powers, but they say like, oh yeah, but they cannot use them at the same time. So I thought they were gonna pick a flaw that literally disallowed them to do it on the same time. And I was constantly asking for the sheet and all that, and they didn't give me the sheet, but we need to start playing. So I started to play, and they had like shit finish, and things were a little bit annoying because where they started role playing, they didn't start role playing like a character that was like new with their powers or didn't know how to control them. They didn't role play that part, but I was like, okay, maybe they're not that good at role playing. It's fine. I'm not gonna judge their how good are they role playing or how much I actually expect to see that. Maybe their mind's different, but on the first combat, well, not the first. The first combat where that character was in, because we already had a pair of sessions with some other players. On the first combat on that, their character was like on the other side of the city, and we were playing at power level 8. So that is around, supposedly it's around Batman level of stuff. So when you're fighting the Penguin, you're fighting on the Mr. Freeze, you're not like Face or Superman levels or stuff like that. You're more like the masked hero kind of situation, Spider-Man.
Right.
And they heard the combat. They flew over like on a speed that is intergalactic wise of traveling. And on a single turn, they had a thing that they basically could beat every enemy up because it is I think it's a dump ability that you can basically, if you beat a minion, you can immediately go and attack another minion kind of situation. And they had enough strength to all beat everything because they were basically Superman in a lower power level setting of how they build the character. The combat ended up being meaningless because where 3 players were struggling, 1 player ended the combat on a single turn. So of course they feel cool about it. All the players feel very bad about it, and I couldn't bring them back. And I feel also very like if players don't want to come back to this, and we're just starting already, and this person is causing this much issues. I don't really know this person very well. I don't want to even go with the deal of going ahead and tell them to fix their character or to make another character, because how do I go along with this? And I'd also, why didn't you do it in the middle of the session then? Why do you allow a character you didn't review? Well, it was a friendly game. It was not a game that was competitive. It was a person game of people that were like supposed to be trustful with stuff and like that. And that's why I didn't do it before. It's like, okay, you're saying like, I need to trust you. I need to put some trust. You don't expect people to trust you without giving them some trust, you know? And what didn't do in the middle of the session, their tone, their words they talk, I knew it was immediately going to end up being a discussion, and that was gonna ruin the mood in any case. And they kind of did in the end when I pulled them to the side to talk about it. And it's like, oh, you told me that I asked you about this and you told me this was fine. And I was like, yeah, but I thought you meant this and etc. No, I meant this, and this is my character. At that point, I didn't want to deal with it. The other players didn't want to deal with it. I just said, like, this is not worth my time. I'm gonna make another campaign.
Fair enough.
You can make other campaigns. Because even if I went back and kicked the player, whatever, in my brain I need to give a logic explanation what happened to the player. And if I give that logic explanation, the other players were no longer really into it because they felt like the characters were really suboptimal. They had the right character for the situation, but now they feel like it didn't. They didn't feel appropriate on the situation. And yeah, that is how far something can get.
Fair enough.
Did he have a better solution? Yeah, probably had. But that is the thing. That is the thing. You will never. It's very difficult to always have the best solution, and that's something that I don't want to lie around to people like, I'm the perfect game master that will always make things perfect for everyone. No, we're all human. We all make mistakes, and you have to feel right about making mistakes, because that's how you feel better. That's how you get better about them. That's how you get to do things. You need to realize them and still try to do the things that you need to do. Sorry. I ended on a rant.
Yeah, good. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Joking. Yeah, hope that answered your question. Fine.
I don't know if there's too much else that I really have to say on the topic of character creation. I think I hit all my high notes.
You hit all your high notes, Eyeris.
Hit all my high notes.
Nice. Hitting the high notes is really nice. It's a good feeling.
Do.
Enjoy the story. Good. Okay, then I'm gonna pass to continue making questions to you then for a little bit.
Sure. I mean, we got like what, 20-ish minutes before? No, a little less than 20. Yeah, no, 20. 20
Yeah, we
minutes.
have around
We got about 20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
So we're done.
Yeah. So, Eyeris, you have a character. You are a character.
I am a character.
How did you came up with the concept of yourself? Because you told me you were your own father. And
yeah.
So on how did you decide to create yourself?
I mean, if we're gonna get into like the deep meta of why I made myself like I am, I guess like I just really, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just really wanted something cute.
That's
I wanted something cute. I like weird transhumanism stuff. I'm very into stuff like that. I watched a little bit too much Chobits growing up, if that's an additional answer that'll soothe anybody's brain. Just a little.
So you just want, I want something cute. I want something with that. But why do you decide to go with digital? Why do you make yourself digital? Why do you make yourself? Why didn't you make yourself real?
I like technology. I thought it was fun. I've always liked the idea of like the ghost in the machine.
Ghost in the machine.
Ghost in the machine. That idea that like the internet itself harbors stuff that we can't quite explain. So that's kind of where I went.
I cannot say that is not interesting. Honestly, the reason I was able to go along and write in lore with you because it's a very interesting concept. All it comes from the concepts that you made. It really does. Mm-hmm. And you give yourself not enough credit on your lore because I ask a fucking ton of questions and you reply perfectly to everything.
You did so much though. You did so much right. You wrote a novel. I gave you like a few paragraphs. You gave me back a novel.
No, I gave you back a lot of options. Then I combined the options and then... But yeah, Pyre has another question. How do you manage romance between characters? Whatever it's planned between characters during creation in mid game, it's a bit confusing to me to understand how it's meant to be handled. For me,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead first. Yeah, you go.
Are you sure? You can go for it. I don't care. Do you want to?
Okay, I'm gonna go with it. I don't like when players make free romance. It's fine if it's an NPC romance, like, okay, I'm just not gonna play that or whatever. They can talk about their lover or someplace else and whatever. Because for me, romance is one of those things that is a change thing. It is one of the things that you can see improve a character, make the character make poor decisions. It is a very drama-inducing scenario that is very nice. I love romance. A rom-coms is something that I love. And in general, it's nice to see that grow and fade and whatever. And this is one of my logics, especially in D&D, even for my characters. Like, oh, this is people are Avengers. They don't know when they die. They go hard with love and they fall hard with love too. They just it's quick for them. They are the lifeless of us at peril. Now, with how I handle free romance, if players have it, that's on them. I do request them if like they're of a couple. Like, hey, try not to do it too much. And if I feel like a session is there too much, like, yeah, we came here to play. It's not a date. It's fine to make some comments, but give light to other players to have a chance to roleplay or try to roleplay with other people too.
Yeah, I think fixating's never really a good thing to do. I feel like you have to have that kind of balance between what you're doing.
Yeah, and with romance, you got to experience that a little bit with me, Pine, on that one shot that everyone decided to have a romantic interest. They're adventurers. They are interesting for people in a general sense. Depending on the players, on how comfortable they are, is how specific I go with it. But usually, like with my live players that are more uncomfortable with stuff because we're live and we can see each other's faces, know that it's like okay, and I just put a very big cartoon over it. Okay, and this is the result of that. And I have a bard in my live player, in my live question, in my live table. I got bard. You know, we make jokes that eventually the BBG is gonna be an army of his sons that he never went to take care of them. And after that joke, the bard started spending a lot of money to be sending to his mother. So in general, I just black fade them all, and I do make some comments that the NPC do say and stuff like that, but I don't go too deep into that. And I usually, after a comment says, I make sure not to fixate on it. It's like it's one comment, you get one comment, and then I move to ask another player what they're doing or what they want to do, or I make another interaction, because same goes with fixating with the game master. You don't fixate with your players, and romance is a way to fixate with your players. So you need to make it short. You make it simple. You don't need to think too hard about it as a realistic romance. Not gonna lie. What do your thought process? Now I'm curious, Eyeris.
I mean, as somebody who has a lot of in-character romances, I think it's important not to fixate on them as much as you might with most people tend to fixate on them. It happens a lot where I've seen people get into romances in their campaigns, and then that is all they want to do. I think that's probably it. I think the big key takeaway is just make sure you're not like ignoring everybody else in favor of the romance that's going on. I know we're all touch-starved weirdos who don't get out of the house a lot, but you don't have to be weird about it.
You don't have to be weird about it. You can still have friends. You can still have your own time.
You can still have friends. You can still make your friend and your fictional character kiss, but like, just don't get weird about it.
Yeah.
Just don't get weird about it. You can make them kiss. You can make them like do a little smoochy smooch. You can smash the Barbie dolls together, but like, just don't get weird about it.
Smash the Barbie dolls together? I love that.
Yeah, make the Barbie dolls kiss.
That's
what it is.
I'm gonna use that on my next on the next thing.
That's what it is. You're just smashing your make believe play dolls together, and you know.
Luckily, I have not have any players that is too weird about it. I have players that feel weird about it, but not in the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, interrupted.
I've had people who've gotten way too weird about a lot of things, but there was one time in one of our games where one of our players, the only thing they wanted to do with their NPC love interest was fuck, and that was it. That was all they did the entire time that they were playing.
Okay.
It made GM very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, if a player pulls that on me, I am gonna kick them out of the table, and depending on how bad it is, I might directly kick them instead of talking first. Because when you get to that point of that level of uncomfortableness, it's hard to recover. It is hard to enjoy the campaign. And as a game master, I know it sounds like now that I quit campaigns so easily, I honestly only have quit one campaign. But they are players that are not every player is right for every campaign, and not every player is right for playing a game with public people.
Right.
Now I just want to see Ace Kobold not understanding what smashing means and just sits there smashing two Barbie dolls together, not getting what's the big deal about it. Yeah, there were Barbie dolls smashing and just just right next to those. I don't get it. They were fighting like this. This is a dumb way to fight. But yeah, don't fixate. Leave that person some time alone. Honestly, another thing that I might do is that player might be like, you're too clingy. I don't like you anymore.
Don't be weird about it, bro.
Oh
Don't
no!
kiss the homies. Don't kiss the homies goodnight, IRL.
Oh no! I did have one player that was very weird about it. So.
Oh.
So the situation was more of a, it wasn't a school role play, and that player really wanted to get it with a teacher, but the teacher was a divorce teacher when she was young, so she was not really just like looking to smash, and even less one of her students. They were adults. It was like a university thing. It's not high school. I hate that. Use university. You can use universities for that. But yeah, and so the player tried so fucking hard to get with her, and she was like, "Well, is she not a lesbian? No, she is a lesbian. She had a wife. She's just not interested in you." And like, they always wonder why. It was because they always went along with, I basically want to fuck with you. Oh, my way of flirting with you is telling you that you have a nice ass and stuff like that. It's like, okay, they're an adult, they are not desperate. They are not like that.
They're not foaming at the bit.
Yeah. You can kiss your homies goodnight with consent.
But just don't be weird about it.
Yeah, just don't be weird about it. Don't ask for a second kiss. It's a goodnight kiss. It's not a kissy kiss.
Yeah, you can kiss your homie goodnight once, but you can't double dip.
Yeah, double dipping is gay. Joking, sorry. That explains so many things somehow. But yeah.
It really does.
Romance is difficult. It's always nice to have it around. You can create so many scenarios, and even if they don't have to be that romantic, to be honest, they can be just interesting by themselves. Because these stuff happen. People do improve for romance. People do make mistakes for romance, and you want to see drama. Romance brings drama. That is the reality of it. And even if there are situations like, oh, you actually fell in love with the villain, and I'm gonna go ahead with the villain situation and help them instead of my friends. That's a decent decision. That's up to you. You can make the decision. You're a player. You're free to make the decisions. And as a game master, you have to be open to that to happen because you made it happen. You decided to accept that romance as a game master. They didn't force it, even if it makes sense. You accepted it, even if it sounds like, oh, you could have made the game out of it. Because when you're a game master, it's not about metagaming. You can always give a reason to why something is not. Oh, maybe they are not into them. Maybe they are married. Maybe they are maybe they're into them, but they are in a curse that they cannot, if they ever fall in love, they will die. Stuff like that.
That's a good one.
I have fallen in love with the villain, and now I'm everybody's problem.
Yeah, that. I'm not gonna say anything there. I'm not gonna say anything there. I've been there.
You don't need to say anything, Eyeris.
I've been there.
I know you have been there on games, on movies, on. Honestly, it's fair. I cannot. I'm not judging you for that.
That's how I derailed an entire campaign to begin with. But it was fine because it worked out, and I did fix him. Thank you very much.
I did fix him.
I can fix him, and I did, like a Chad.
don't know. That says something. Peepa, you can fix them.
It just takes a little determination. You just gotta be a tiny bit delusional.
Unless you
But
admit
it's fine.
it.
I know, it's very impressive. I'm very, very good. Very good at this.
Yeah, it is. It is impressive. I gotta agree with Pine there. Okay. I gotta ask this because you say about romance with. I imagine that person was real about it with an NPC that the game was Master
Mhm.
playing. Have you ever had the situation where there is a couple always flirting?
Yes. Once or twice. I won't go into specifics, but once or twice, yes.
Okay, you won't go into specific. I won't ask more.
I
I
can't
don't.
go
I
into
won't ask for
specifics.
further questions. Thank you so very much.
I can't get into specifics, but
It's funny for me the stories, the horror stories about the people that were like, "Oh, the game master was flirting with me," and it's like, "Oh, what the?"
what do you mean?
It's so dumb how they go because all those stories is basically game masters or players trying to impress an actual person with their characters or NPCs or whatever. Like the game masters, a lot of them are usually with their game master PCs that are all powerful. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna find me so attractive after they see my OP character that I made of teenager. So dumb. I don't care about if I.
They can't not.
I don't care if people get hit by that. Honestly, if you do that, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Oh my god, the NPC is flirting with me. That means Toshi's hitting me with me. God.
Nobody. Don't be delusional.
Don't be delusional.
You can be a little delusional, but not delusional right there.
Not mental hospital delusional, please.
It's an acceptable amount of delusional.
One that don't get you injected with drugs, okay?
There you go.
No, that the Lulu goes straight to the brain.
I mean, that's where it's located. The Delulu is located in the brain, but like, you know.
Yeah, I think you mean the brain worm.
Brain worms.
No, they're not tasty.
They look tasty. They look like gummy worms. Have you seen them? They look like gummy worms.
They look like gummy worms? I have not seen them, to be honest.
Look them up. They look kind of like gummy worms.
Okay,
like really long gummy worms.
brain. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Like really long gummy worms. I'd eat a brain worm.
Okay, they look like gummy gums.
See?
Yeah, they kind of do. They just need color. They just need color.
I'd eat it. I'd eat a brain worm.
You shouldn't.
I mean, there's a lot of things we shouldn't do, but you know.
And you don't do them, right?
Stop me.
Damn. Okay.
Never stop me.
Okay, I think we can end it soon. Eyeris, one last big advice or thing you want to say in general?
Oh god, do I have anything to say? I don't think so. I don't have anything today to say, no. I don't have anything special. Shit, I do have something special coming up now that I think about it. Can I?
Sure.
Can I advertise?
Go ahead. It's also your spot, Eyeris. You can advertise on Chronicles Café all the time.
Not the 19th. Next Wednesday, the 26th, is my anniversary. My stream anniversary. You guys should come. You guys should come hang out. I fucked up and I didn't get my idol outfit rigged in time, so I'm still working on that. But we're gonna do something different. We're still doing idol things. I'm gonna do karaoke. My chat decided that they were going to make me suffer, and so I'm playing my least favorite route of my favorite dating sim. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff. Yes, the 26th.
26.
You should come by. You should come
Let's
by
go,
and
26.
have fun.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be on
there.
YouTube. I'm not on Twitch anymore. It'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll make sure to post it on my side. And yeah, what anniversary is? I gotta ask. 4th?
This year, yeah, this year's gonna be my fourth
Damn,
anniversary.
that's
my
a lot.
4th anniversary of VTubing. I've outlived all kinds of VTubers.
I gotta be honest.
VTuber has a
just 1 year gets you to outlive most kinds of VTubers, to be honest.
Most VTubers last like 6 months. I feel like I'm an old lady.
Yeah. Oh, Eyeris, that is completely fine. We'll want for you to have a nice time hanging out with us. You don't need to overstress and overwork yourself. Some of my favorite memories are just about watching you guys enjoy yourself. Oh, thank you, Pine. And yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. Yeah. Don't overstress. Let's just try to have fun, Eyeris, in those days. And, well, to end this next episode on 2 weeks for the Chronicles Café. On the 30th of this month. I don't am I pronouncing 30 right?
30.
30. It's saying turkey on my chat on my
it's very it's very like
third
T.
30. 30. Okay. That worked. Yeah, that one. He got one. Yeah, I won.
There you go.
Yeah, the next one is gonna be about monster creation.
Ooh, it's another good DM one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go just say grab a monster from the picture, grab another picture, put them together. That's it. That's your monster. You don't need to do more.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, we're gonna go into monster creation, and hopefully we'll come up with a monster, and I might end up making an actual like character sheet for it after the stream.
Ooh,
well,
I'd
not
be
character.
Curious to see.
You're gonna be flooded with questions. Oh, go ahead. I love questions.
We love questions.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks everyone for being here. I think we can end it here. And
Bye.
Eyeris, yeah, you were right. $100 was too much. I was selling the chocolate beers for like $5 only. They didn't want to pay more for them. They feel bad about eating a living being with a brain. Yeah.
They barely have brains, Toshi.
It's not a real brain, I know, but people were like, "Oh no, they're sentient."
Okay, have you actually seen the inside? Like they're like, it's like a marshmallow.
Ooh. Yeah, thank you. For my brain.
Marshmallow.
Yeah, it's like they actually are made of marshmallow. You just need some cookie and you can make s'mores out of them. I did that before once.
Huh. Not a bad idea.
And it's a great chocolate.
Oh my god, they're all in one s'mores. We can
yeah, you just sandwich them down between 2 cookies and that's all you need.
I gotta go. I've got an idea.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
Let's go make some s'mores.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay, closing now.